Thomas charging through the midfield. Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas, right at the end.
Hello, welcome to It's Up for Grabs Now. This is the Arsenal podcast. That's me, Alan Davis. With me, as ever, Ian Stone is here.
Hello, Alan.
Ian Stone has been supporting Arsenal since 1904, already established. Favourite players, Cliff Bastin. And Tyre, how you doing, Tyre?
Evening, Alan.
He just started supporting Arsenal yesterday at 4, and stopped supporting them about 6:05, I think it was.
Yeah, that didn't work out for me. I'm going back across the river. Palace won 3-0 at the weekend.
Did they?
No, good.
I thought you might have liked the look of Drogba, and maybe you're going that way now.
You can never like the look of Drogba, and I'd never do that. Who was it who said he looks like a Predator once?
Am I wrong?
You?
Yeah.
Wasn't it you?
It's you,
Right. Yesterday.
You're just
Right,
trying to plant that in our heads.
We had a fantastic email from obviously a regular listener of our previous 4 shows.
Yes.
4 shows, we're going
believe
about.
it.
Veterans.
Who says, this is from Yinka in New York. Obviously, Tyre will play me in the movie of my life. Obviously. If he's good looking enough.
He can check the pictures, he can see that for himself.
See, obviously, that goes
Thanks,
without saying. I'm also a South London Nigerian supporting Guna lapsed Palace fan who followed Righty across the river.
I'd just like to say, if I can help any South London supporting Gooners out there who are Lats Palace fans, even though I'm not, then I'm glad. If they want to come out on the podcast, and that's I'm just glad that I can play a part.
Start a Facebook group.
Me and Yinka.
Yeah,
All right,
essentially.
fair
You know, from small acorns.
We'll go from there. See if Baba Tunde somewhere wants to join.
Now, obviously, obviously this week, massive game for Arsenal. Obviously this week, Manchester City in the Carling Cup is a big game.
Chance of a trophy.
Who do you think is going to play in that? The under-9s?
Will we be able to tell the difference if the under-9s are out there?
Do you remember when Cesc Fabregas first came? I remember when Cesc Fabregas, Jesus as we call him, first played in the Premier League for Arsenal. It was away at Everton. We won 4-1, and he was the shortest player in our team. And now he isn't. He is virtually the tallest player. He's now looks like, you're now thinking, if it came to it, we might have to ask him to fill in at centre-back, because we haven't got anyone as tall as him anymore.
We are small, aren't we?
What's going on with the midget-sized side?
Yeah.
If you ask me, that is why we've lost 3-0 to Chelsea, because they just got bullied all around the pitch by bigger boys who look like they were 2 years above them.
Did you know, I read this today, that we were, on average, 5 centimetres smaller, 3 years younger, and 10 kilograms lighter than Chelsea? And I thought, well, you know, again, it's not men against boys. It certainly looks like it.
We got beaten up. Every time the ball came in, they just laughed and swatted it away. They won every header.
It was like third years against fifth years.
Yeah.
It's not fair. If it was PE,
fair.
if it was a PE lesson, you'd have to swap it about a bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously Wenger thinks that we are a little bit more skillful, doesn't he? That's the point. He reckons we are so good that we can skill our way round Chelsea.
So we
That's what he
pass
reckons.
the ball amongst ourselves in the midfield. Then we put a cross in, and then they start laughing at us. While they head it away, they start laughing while the ball's coming in.
Yeah.
oh, look, boys, they're going to cross it. Watch this. Let's see what happens.
Terry's at that going, oh, bless.
Tapping him on the head.
He's kicked that quite a long way for a midget.
It was when Arshavin collided with Zhirkov. Is he Russian? The Russian number 2.
He went
Ivanovic.
10 feet backwards.
Ivanovic. What's he made out of?
Yeah.
Some sort of cowhide fullback. He is, mate. He's a Frisian.
They were all enormous, though, weren't they? All of them.
Arshavin bounced off him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And got up and shook his hand.
And three of them tried to get John Obi Mikel the corner flag at the end, and they couldn't. They were just hanging off him. It was like 3 little kids.
There's one point when Essien knocked someone over and looked at him really disdainfully, like a bouncer who's just thrown someone out of a club.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah,
so what's the logical progression? We used to have a massive team. We used to have Vieira, Petit, Ray Parlour was the smallest one in the midfield. He'd be the tallest player at the club.
Plus the defence. Plus we had Dixon and Adams and Winterburn.
Yeah, and then we got Gilberto Silva, and then we got Edu.
All big.
Dennis was massive.
Thierry's
big player.
So now, the natural progression now, as they're getting smaller and smaller, is in 5 years' time, we're going to be sending out a Sabutio team against Chelsea.
Brilliant.
So a little Sabutio side, which will work, because they'll actually be lower than the level of the grass itself. And the ball will move around the pitch.
Hard to mark.
Apparently, without not being touched, like some kind of Michael Bentine's potty time.
And Cesc would have retired by then.
Come on, here we go.
Cesc would have retired like that, so that the hand of God will come through and be the fingers that flick the players along. It'll be the hand of Cesc.
And Cesc will be flicking our boys around.
Amazing.
That's the only way it's going to work.
It's the only chance we've got. We got beaten up yesterday. It's embarrassing and depressing. Embarrassing.
Abject humiliation. I've never seen the ground so empty. At the end of it, I thought, well, we lost 3-0, but at least it was only a reserve game.
And
we're only 300 people watching.
At least
There
we
weren't many
stayed.
left.
At least we stayed.
We did
At least we
stay.
stayed.
No, but you know what
There
happens
wasn't a
when...
descending voice saying, "Shall we go?" No, we can't. We can't. Do that.
No, but that's what... You remember when we... do you remember? We lost to Chelsea in the quarter-final of the Champions League.
Yes, there's no need to bring that up.
No, but there was
a deal with yesterday.
Allude to it. Don't have to talk about it, Stoney.
I'm talking about something else, right? What happened was, when they scored the winning goal, everyone at the same time got up to leave, and then they all stood there in the little queuing bit to go up the stairs. Nobody could get out. So Keith said, "I'm not staying here." He gets up, he walks 5 yards to the left, and then stops there
Real hissy
for
fit,
10
'cause he
minutes
can't
while
leave.
we're sat there because he can't go anywhere.
That's maybe one of the best things about the Emirates is you can get out really quickly when you're having your asses massively kicked
Yeah.
by a bunch of bouncers from West London.
Yeah.
And they're singing it so easy. Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant.
Now,
But,
I've got a new idea for when the players come out onto the pitch, instead of this weird swing number that they've started playing. I don't know why.
The Wonder of Views.
I don't know. Is that what it is? Why
It's
do
the
we
Wonder
play
of
that?
Views. Apparently, it's Elvis Presley. Is that
We
right?
used to have the A-Team. We used to have
We had Fatboy Slim, didn't we?
We used to have that. Now, my suggestion is we have Hi-ho! 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 It's off to work we go.
Arsene Wenger as Snow White.
Hi-ho! Hi-ho! Yeah, and they'll have little floppy hats
Well,
on and big
you're going to
feet.
give Spurs a
Arshavin,
ton of hands right
Arshavin's
there.
grumpy, isn't he? Obviously. I imagine.
Absolutely. He's well grumpy.
He's got to be grumpy, isn't he?
Diaby's
Sleepy, obviously, yeah. Yeah, write in. Send in the emails. We know where we're going with this. 5 more to get.
Arsenal players.
Hi-ho!
Arsenal players. What's the podcast address? It's time to give it out now. We're going to do that, actually.
Emails. You could give us anyone who can name the 7 dwarves could be a guest on the show. Without looking it up, don't Google it. You cheat. Someone's already over the button. Email us up for grabs at playbackmedia.co.uk. Diaby is actually 6'4" or something. I mean, he would have been handy. It doesn't help, to be fair to him. It doesn't help that Van Persie, Banter and Diaby are the only players who bang their heads on any taxi roof while getting in.
Even our centre halves.
Maybe that's what they did, and that's why they're not playing.
Are neither of our centre halves 6 foot?
No, they're 5'11", aren't they? Both.
5'11".
They look really tall to me.
Yeah.
That's Vermaelen.
Compared to who? Compared to the rest of our team. They tower over the rest of our team.
And me,
It's
I was just saying,
The
it's
other
just a bit of a
lot,
joke.
unfortunately, the Chelsea Giants.
Vermaelen, when Arshavin goes shopping, and I used to take Vermaelen with him to get things in the supermarket, because he thinks the supermarket's just full of sweets and chocolate bars.
On the defence...
He's at primary school level.
On the defence, like, Traore actually covered himself with the most glory out of anyone yesterday. I thought he did all right.
He did all right, he's a good
He
player.
did do all right, yeah.
Should he have stayed with the kickboxing, though?
It's too early to tell, isn't it? at the moment?
he needs to run a games before we consign
He's
him
not
back
going
to
to
the
get a regular
bare
shirt. He might as well go back to it in time for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Is it in the Olympics?
It should be.
Who should do the hi-ho? Should it be Wenger, or should it be the guy... At the moment, we get Manuel, and we're all supposed to go, Almunia! Which
I find that annoying.
I really hate that.
humiliating.
It's the one-name players. That's when it doesn't work for me.
Daniel! Son!
Yeah, it doesn't work. It
The only
doesn't
one
work
I
for me.
liked was when Sanchez Watt played in the Carling Cup, and he went, Sanchez! And we all went, what?
Yeah, that's all right.
That
Yeah.
was the loudest one they've ever had.
Yeah.
I think he should be named on the bench for every game, just so we can go, what? Hi-ho!
What?
There's a bloke who sent an email. He's called Mick Lemaire, which sounds like a made-up name. He goes...
The horse.
He goes, boys, love the podcast. That's right.
All right, nice. I'll leave it.
I was there yesterday, not sat where I usually sit. Don't need to know that.
Okay.
Sat next to me was a man, probably in his 60s, losing interest. Supposedly an Arsenal fan, gets interested. Here are some of my favourite quotes from him during the game. This reminds me a little bit of this fantastic Twitter feed that you can follow called Shit My Dad Says, which I recommend to anyone.
Which I could fill in on my own, to be perfectly honest.
You
But
should
anyway,
do Shit My Dad Says. Shit Ian's dad says would be an awesome
don't
Twitter
play
feed.
football in defence.
When your dad came to the game, my favourite one...
Oh, yeah, go on.
My favourite one was he's sitting there and he's going, the ball's gone out for a throw-in, and we're running to get the ball to take a throw-in, and your dad's going, make 'em pay! Make 'em pay!
Yeah, bless
How's he
him.
going to do that? We've got a throw-in!
Yeah.
Ian's dad, it's a throw-in. We can't make 'em pay with this.
Yes, I like that site. I'm going to have a look.
Anyway, he goes, this is some of the quotes from this bloke who sat next to him. Wenger, oi, Wenger, do you believe now? Do you? Do you? We're never going to win a match again. That's what I believe, you total... And then a lot of profanities that showing him
Really?
reserved for Ashley Cole.
Blimey.
Fabregas, you're the worst midfielder in this division.
Whoa.
Bugger off the last.
No, hang on a minute.
Sorry, that's blasphemy.
Well, first of all, can I just say the worst midfielder in the division would not get in the Barca team, would they? So that is factually incorrect in that
Then
sense.
he goes, I'm never coming here again. He is, he'll be there Saturday.
Yeah. Sadly. Not near us, though.
But speaking of abusive fans, we had a couple behind. We had one who came up with the best one when Joe Cole came off, didn't we?
Joe Cole gets substituted, and he goes, Cole, get off the pitch, you Kentish Town pikey! You Kentish Town pikey!
There's a lot of information in there.
Detail.
There was a lot of detail. We didn't.
Keith goes to me, I didn't know he was from Kentish Town.
That's what we were all saying.
really informative abuse.
Didn't know he was from Kentish
Yeah.
Town. He didn't question his lineage.
It was very helpful, wasn't it, in some senses?
Get off the pitch. And the thing, it was a classic one, isn't it? When he's coming off. He's being subbed.
Get off the pitch, yeah.
I'm getting off the pitch.
Straight down the tunnel.
Well, he was,
Yeah, so this is, they told him to go off and look. He's off.
back to Kentish Town in his caravan.
I actually thought Cole looked rubbish.
He was the worst player they had.
He looked completely out of breath the entire time. Alex Song was battering him. That was the only one-to-one battle on the pitch that we were winning.
And then he took him off. He took off the only player over 6 foot.
Ancelotti's on the sidelines thinking, hang on a minute, an Arsenal player seems to have snuck into our team. Hi-ho! Joe Cole.
Let's bring Walker on instead of Alex Song. What do you think of that decision?
I also think... Which one?
Alex Song comes off at half-time and Walker
You can see why he did it.
Really? Why?
Because we didn't need a holding midfielder anymore.
It wasn't the reason. He put Theo on the right to stop Ashley Cole getting down the wing and making goals.
No, well, you know what? If we're putting our forward on to stop their fullback making goals, then we are not as good as them.
No, that is always been Wenger's philosophy. If you've got a good attacking fullback, is attack him. Overmars would never track back and stand in front of someone. He'd stand behind them, so they're always thinking, Overmars is behind me, I better not go
and
upfield.
he's quick. And the same with Walcott.
We did keep Ashley Cole back.
It was a little bit...
They were 2-0 up by then.
The horse had bolted so far away.
Yeah, exactly.
It had got a passport and moved to France.
Yeah, second half we're 2-0 down. Of course, I agree.
And Ashley wasn't bothering coming up.
But the thing about the 4-5-1 is it does rely on Van Persie. We didn't realise. I mean, my girlfriend Rose said to me yesterday, so we're a one-man team then. I said, no, but Van Persie is important to the way they play.
It's not much that he was important, it's just that his form was superb.
Yeah, he was playing well, yeah.
And
the runs he was making,
everything he was doing was coming off.
How many touches did Eduardo have yesterday, which just got away from him? And I don't want to pick on Eduardo, but you know what I'm talking about. I know you love him,
heart.
but the ball wasn't sticking. And then stop clenching your fist.
Players go through bad patches.
He's having a shocker at the minute. He is.
I can't understand it. I don't get it.
He's not taking a shot. He's never not taking a shot.
He's lost his touch. What's going on? I saw him play, right? I saw him play for Croatia at Wembley when England lost 3-2, right?
He was good that day, yeah.
His first touch was extraordinary that day. And on that day, it was raining like it was on Sunday. It was raining cats and dogs. It was unbelievable weather. And the pitch was shocking at Wembley, right? And Eduardo not bothered. Every single thing stuck. Everything was laid off.
But it's a confidence thing, isn't it?
Centre-halves up his back, with not bothered about it. He was tough. But he seems to have completely lost his touch, his way, his confidence. Everything's gone from him.
Is it the leg? Is it the fact that he's himself? I mean, most players come back.
You know what I think, because I don't know anything about it, right? Because I'm just a fan. I think his thighs are too big now.
He does look.
He's done so much rrehabilitation, he can't get his legs together.
So how come Essien?
You know, like those weightlifters in the Olympics, his thighs are unbelievable. They can't. I mean, honestly,
Essien's thighs are bigger than our chest, and it works for him.
No, but Essien's grown up with those thighs, isn't he? I mean,
he's used to his thighs. Is that what you're saying?
He is.
Essien is used to his thighs, whereas Eduardo is still getting used to them.
Loads of thighs. It's too much, isn't it, to take on?
Eduardo used to be lean.
Eduardo, if you're listening, it's your thighs. Get comfortable with your thighs, and
this is what I thought yesterday during the game. This shows what a middle class football fan I am. I was thinking, I think Eduardo should do some Pilates. His sides are too big.
I remember Keith's still not forgiven me and another one we sit with for turning up at the beginning of last season with sushi for the first day of the season. He went, you give bloody Arsenal fans a bad
I'd like it if they did sushi at the Emirates.
We are middle class football fans. I mean, you know what? I remember we went at we went to the final at Cardiff. Went to one of the finals at Cardiff, and we stopped at Motorway Services on the way. And the Burger King, there was a massive queue, and we were walking around Marks and Spencer's going, oh, I think I'll have a wrap and a smoothie, right?
Oh, look.
It was hilarious.
Rocket and crayfish salad. Rocket and crayfish salad? 3 rocket and crayfish salads, please.
That was us. Sean was in the
We're going to win the cup. Hi-ho!
Exactly.
I think
that ship has sailed.
Ollie was reading a bit of Virgil at half time or something like that.
Exactly. Let me quote you a line. Not now, Ollie. We're losing 2-0. Stop it.
Yeah, he got all the way to Cardiff, and then he saw there was a Fellini retrospective on at the opening. And he tried to flog his ticket. We said, you're out the gang if you flog your ticket for a Fellini.
mate, no.
You can go to the 7 o'clock showing.
Yeah. If we don't win.
Here's an email you like. This is from Ellis James. I presume that means his name's James Ellis. Hi guys. I don't like hi guys. If you are going to email us up for grabs at playbackmedia.co.uk, if you put hi guys, it's going in the bin. This is the only one I'm ever going to read. Hi guys. We're not that middle class. I prefer boys. Love the podcast. That's the way you have to open all your
Lads,
emails.
doing a great job. Something like that.
Before he scored the 2 goals, I was thinking how much I hate Drogba. That was before he scored the 2 goals, this bloke. Because of the dramatics. Now, I think he should have been booked 4 times for diving and once for handball before he did Van Ireland, which should have been a red card. But then I'm perhaps biased.
Slightly.
Probably, he says he hates him more than Ashley. Plus, we were linked with Van Nistelrooy last week. Got me thinking. Who do I hate the most between the two?
No, that's beautiful. There's no competition. There's no competition.
Who do you guys loathe the most?
Van Horstelrooy, standard. It's always. Why wouldn't you?
By a long way.
You?
Yeah.
By a long way. There was that question, wasn't there, about if you had George Bush and Van Nistelrooy in a room and you had one bullet in a gun, who would you kill? And we said you'd shoot Van Nistelrooy and then pistol whip George Bush to death. Was the answer, right? That was,
If you're saying to me, I mean, if this is like, this is our middle class, this is going rid of middle class. If this is like Huis Clos by Jean-Paul Sartre, that means for life.
Yeah, right.
I'd shoot myself.
Right.
Always Van Nistelrooy. Always Van Nistelrooy. I got an email here from Joe Locks, who says, "What's up, guys? Do we allow what's up?"
As long as you say it. What's up?
That's how he's written it. He's written it like that. What's up, guys?
Is he American?
No, I think he might be Nigerian, the way that he's kind of the text speak that he's writing.
Loving without a G. Loving the podcast without a G.
He's loving the podcast without a G.
Yeah.
And he says
no apostrophe.
He's throwing a gang sign when he says that.
Exactly. He says, we got the fly skills. I'm throwing up a gang sign here. But we're lacking in some, S-U-M, we're lacking in some still. Do we need to put our hand out? Do we need to put our hand in our pockets? Well, it says out pockets, but you get the idea. And pay big bucks for a proven, experienced striker.
We've got two billionaires.
He reckons we need a commanding, and these are his words, not mine, a commanding psychopathic striker. Brackets, a Drogba type.
Psychopathic?
So is he right? Is he right? Do we need to buy anyone in January? Is that what we're talking about now?
Yeah, we need to buy a spine. We need to buy a spine for the team.
We need to buy someone who's taller than 5'8".
We need to go back in time. Have you seen that film, Time Cop, with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No.
We need to go back in time.
Tiny,
no, we're middle class. We don't watch that.
I'm not saying buy Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get into the technology from that film, because it works, right? You go back in time, you get Sol Campbell, Patrick Vieira, and Frank Stapleton to do, and bring them forward and put them in the team.
That'd do us as well.
That's why I'm not in charge of scouting.
He's looking at the over 40s league. Get in.
That moment when Carvalho's shin pad came out.
Yeah, and they all ignored it.
And it fell on the pitch. Who was it who said to me in the pub afterwards that was the moment when the ref picked it up? That's when the check changed hands.
That wasn't me.
That was in there. Yeah.
It's got to be Keith.
Probably Keith. The check was inside Carvalho's shin pad.
Yeah.
The ref was a bit of a clown.
The ref picks it up, slyly palms the check like Darren Brown style into his pocket, gives Carvalho the shin pad, deal done.
Well, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, because someone bought him for that disallowed goal that we had. That was a goal. That was a goal.
Well, it was his foot was 5 foot in the air.
Would we have been happy if Joe Cole had done that to Armenia? Armenia would have probably dropped it by himself, but assuming he didn't, then wouldn't we be happy if that goal got given against us?
The only way an Arsenal player could get his foot 5 foot in the air is to do a handstand.
Yeah. And we weren't going to get... Incidentally, that was, and sorry to be so fair about it all, but that was a penalty as well when... Sanya dragged down... Sanya didn't have a good game yesterday, but he dragged down
not listening, not interested.
Trying to be too reasonable, I'm sure. I'm sorry about that. It won't happen again.
Go off the pitch, you Kentish Town pikey!
I know. So we need a striker in January then, is that what I'm saying?
Roman Abramovich is what we need. That's what we need, is Roman Abramovich to come in and give us £600 million.
That's the only way that Chelsea have beaten us.
Excuse me, we've got two of them. We've got Stan Kroenke and Usmanov.
Yeah, but they're not giving us £600 million.
Well, why not? Let's get some new rich owners.
To write the check.
Arsene doesn't want it.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't he? Does he? Is this what he wants to win the league?
Abramovich wasn't there, was he? Do you know why that is? Because he was organising the hookers for the ref.
Because he was scared.
Hey. Hey, you girls, make sure you do anal for this guy. It's very expensive, yeah?
And because he was scared of Keith.
Is that a good Abramovich impression?
It's along in the room.
It's along the lines. He's scared of Keith. Word has got out that if you come as an away director or an away billionaire owner, then you're going to get done by Keith Dover. That's the problem.
I don't want you to say that because now you made me very afraid that Keith, who happens to be one of my best mates, if not my best mate, is going to get poisoned with polonium in the morning. Because you put it on the interweb that he is Roman Abramovich's biggest enemy.
He'll speak to Putin and
you know what
the
happens
job
there?
done.
The bodies are well and truly buried. That's what happens there.
And the fact is, if he does get poisoned with polonium, we have to sit next to him as well. So I'm slightly concerned about that.
Yeah, because it takes weeks for it to work.
It just rubs off.
And while his face is falling off into his lap during the Stoke game, it might land. Some of it might land on us.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, that is a question, Ian.
All right, can I ask another question?
Stop talking like your children.
Dubai. I was thinking about Dubai.
You want to move to Dubai?
No, it's all gone horrible. And does that affect us in any way? Because we do play in the Emirates Stadium. I'm just asking the question, that's all.
No, deal's done. There's no refund.
There's no refund. No one have to sell anyone?
It's like the airline. Once you buy a seat, there's no refund.
We've got the stadium, that's it.
Someone mentioned yesterday in the pub what we should... it might have been you, actually, so I'm stealing your joke here. About the Emirates Stadium. When the naming...
No, you're not stealing it, you're ruining it.
Oh, well, you do it then.
Leave it in the hands of the professionals.
I thought I started all right with it. You take over. You're the pro. You're the pro. You got it.
What's the joke?
Got it. What's the joke? What's the joke? Make it a good one.
Oh, no, it's not a joke.
No, go on.
No, you do it.
No, you do it.
I'd do it, but I don't know it.
All I thought was, because they've put Arsenal legends on the outside of the stadium. Is this what you're referring to?
Ah, that one.
From behind. It's not what you're referring to. All right, well, you save it.
You do your one. I'll make it sound like I made it up.
And I think they should have all the really, really terrible players that we've had over the years on the inside of the urinals in the toilet. That was all I said. That was all I'm thinking. Jimmy Carter, Igor Stepanovs.
Yeah.
They're the main two.
Igor Stepanov. I think we should pee just over Igor Stepanov's head.
Just like the ball went over his head at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, same sort of thing.
All the time looking back. I was going to say that, and I hope you all laugh now because it's Alan's joke, and if you don't laugh, if you do laugh, it's my joke. If you don't, it's Alan's. That when the naming rights come up again, we should change the name from Emirates to Lilliput.
Oh yeah.
That was a good joke.
That was a good joke.
It was good.
Yeah,
Did I just tell it wrong?
You did ruin it.
No, it was more out of context. It's more, but it was good.
I tried to shoehorn it in earlier, but I was talking. I was leaving it for Alan.
The way it's going, the progression of our transfer policy. Has he not realised, Arsene? Does he not realise when he thinks that Nasri's good? He's really good. He's technically brilliant. He's got a great shot on him. He's very clever. That Arshavin, he's good. He's really good. He's technically brilliant. He's got a great shot on him. He's really clever. That Rosicki, he's brilliant. He's really good. He's technically brilliant. He's got a great shot on him. He's really. The reason why they're not being snapped up by Real Madrid and Barcelona or Manchester United or anyone else who's really, really wealthy is because they're all fucking midgets.
We did play.
They're all going, I'd have had that Nasri, but he's a short ass. I'll have Cristiano Ronaldo instead.
No, can I just say, like you said yesterday, we had a very big team, and we did have one or two players who weren't out for the fight, like Pires, say, but he was protected.
Nowadays, Pires would be the biggest bastard in the side.
He would, wouldn't he?
Everyone would be going, it's all gone off. Bobby, we're right behind you, son.
Yeah. But he was protected, wasn't he, by all the others? That was the point.
Yeah.
Massive players.
Everyone in the ground practically was protected by Vieira. If someone had come over and given us any bother in the seats, Vieira would have come over and slapped him.
And Maradona, by the way, was only about 5'7", wasn't he?
Yeah,
5'5".
But the rest of that team in 1986
were huge. Yeah, were enormous.
And Argentinian was completely completely without scruples.
We need 10 Argentinians, is what you're saying.
We need one massive Argentinian.
I did hear that.
And a shotgun.
You know, we're being investigated by the FA for what was thrown at Frank.
it
Well,
was a camera.
I love the FA investigating. It's on television.
So I know what it was.
We can all know.
We've all seen it.
Was it a phone?
Some bloke
No,
threw
a camera.
I thought it was a phone. I thought it was an Ashley Cole phone thing. He was trying to throw a phone up Ashley's arse. That's what I thought he was trying to do. And fair play if he managed it.
That would have been
a YouTube sensation. And then rung it. And Ashley wouldn't have taken it out, you know. He
might have enjoyed it, yeah.
So they say. No, apparently it was a camera. But I mean, investigate it. The ref went over. The linesman picked it up, and they looked at it. They talked about it for a bit. He walked all the way over to our
David
side.
O'Dowd, the fourth official.
They looked at it and chatted about it. The FA are having an investigation. Someone's thrown a camera on the pitch. So they'll find out who threw it, and he'll be banned for life. And he'll be grateful the way we're playing.
Yeah.
Last week we were going to win the league, and we were talking about how many goals we score in a week, and now we're talking about how many shots we're having, and how we're all midgets. Why is it so bad?
We didn't have a shot yesterday. Why is it so bad? Because Van Persie got injured. It's really annoying that it is down to...
No,
it's not.
We also played against a massive, very good team. Can I just say, Chelsea are very
really
good. It's Mourinho's team.
Can't say
you
that.
can't say it. Not on here. There's
that.
times.
Well, I have.
Who do you think you're talking to?
I have. But you know what? We have to acknowledge that there are some teams we're not as good as.
No, you've got to say, they wouldn't have. They've bought it. They wouldn't be anything without the money. They're dirty cheats.
You're being reasonable again. I pulled you up on this the other week.
Say all of that all the time.
It's all this reasonable stuff.
We've got you for saying that.
The ref was bent.
That's what you all say.
Carvalho gave him a cheque. You have to say that. It's the Arsenal podcast. Sorry, listener. Ian Stone is sacked. I was singing at William Gallas. You should have stayed at a big club.
Yeah.
Stayed at a big club. You should have stayed at a big club. I'd just like to point out that last week on LBC Radio, which for those of you who don't live in London, although this is a Manchester United podcast, what am I doing? The LBC Radio, they were running Chelsea adverts advertising tickets for sale for our next home game against Portsmouth. Come and see the Premier League, Chelsea v Portsmouth. Tickets available now.
Is that how the voice sounded?
Big club.
That's exactly how the voice sounded. So they can say what they like, their fans. They can say what they like, but big club, no. They are not a big club.
Do you remember when...
they are a toilet bowl of a club.
Do you remember at Highbury, whenever like Man U would come, whatever, and then they'd announce how many people that we had at the ground, and all the United fans would go...
That was actually quite funny.
Which is really funny, and it's really
funny. We went, right.
You got a point there.
You got
a point. We're a big club, but we only get 38,000, and you know they're going to do it. You think just when the Mancs are coming, just don't do it.
Don't mention the crowd. Don't mention the crowd.
Didn't hear that.
Thank you for your support.
Didn't hear the Chelsea fans doing that yesterday. This big club since 2004.
They're advertising tickets for sale. They're top of the league. They're running away with the championship. They've got millions of pounds worth of players on the pitch, and they cannot fill the ground. Should be ashamed of themselves. And the reason is because their football stinks. You don't want to watch it. Watching it yesterday, we thought, we've been done. But I think they had 3 shots. One of them was one of our players, which was a disappointing moment.
Yeah, who would you rather watch every week? Yeah, they know. I mean, we got completely done. They play rubbish football, and they're going to win the league. We have to sign some bigger players. We've got to sign bigger players quick. We need at least one bigger midfielder. We can't just have Alex Song on his own. When Alex Song goes away in January, who's it going to be? And you know what I read in the programme? Over the years, Arsenal have had several trialists from Belgium. Emmanuel Leboué came from Beveren. Other trialists included Yaya Touré. I nearly headbutted him.
What?
We had him on trial.
We didn't take him?
Yeah, didn't like him.
Well, we could have bought Drogba 8 years ago.
Yeah, and we could have bought Ronaldo if Carlos Queiroz hadn't stepped in.
You know, and Messi was, grow up in Islington.
Yeah, and he's
apparently.
He's a short ass. We don't want him.
He does. His dad runs a news agent on the Holloway Road.
Yeah.
Peter Cech, we wanted, couldn't get a work permit.
Right, can get a work permit.
But also, there are other players who got away who would have been 15 million that we didn't pay for. Like Alonso was 15 million, not paying that, he's not worth it. Gareth Barry we could have had, Felipe Melo.
Anelka back, hello.
Hang on, and apparently we like this guy. Anelka was at Bolton and we decided not to buy him. This guy at Fulham have got a centre-half that we like. Now, what happened to the days when the phone rang at Fulham, the bat phone, the red phone in the corner, and they went, oh, no, it's Arsenal ringing. Oh, God, what do they want? We want your centre-half. Oh, go on then, how much? That was it. Yeah. That's how it works with Manchester United. If they ring up and say, when they bought Louis Saha, we like your centre-forward, we are going to sign him. How much do you want?
How much? Yeah. That was it.
That's it. That's how it works between Arsenal and Fulham. It doesn't work like a year of rumours in the paper. Oh, they like him. They don't want to pay for him. They like him. They're not really sure. They like him. Are they going to get him? That's not how it works. If you want him, you get him. And you get him in January because we've got 2 centre-halves who are hi-ho and no backup. And you say you're going to have Senderos and Silvestre and 6 18-year-olds who are better than anyone who's ever played for Fulham, and that includes Johnny Haynes and George Best, and be grateful.
Both of them are going to play on. Both of them are going to play on Wednesday. We have got a game on Wednesday.
Yeah, yes. Now this is it. Carling Cup. Come on, this is it.
Big chance of a trophy.
They're a good team. They played great against Liverpool, so I'm
Who
hopeful.
did?
Our boys, our young boys.
Jack Wilshere's not fit apparently.
Well, there'll be someone. Merida,
There'll be
Eastman.
someone
There's
else.
loads of them.
They'll look down the mine and go, hi ho, and another one will come up.
Another technically
2-footed
proficient
genius, where do you want
5'8", yeah. Well, Carlos Vela will get another chance to tell us that he's good and that why.
Wenger was singing his praises yesterday, saying he is one of the best forwards he's ever worked with. And
Yeah, but he's 5'6".
Another one, I know.
And also, when he cut in from the left, he went past one, he went past another, he faced up to a centre-back, and their centre-backs aren't bad, by the way.
Yeah.
Seldom and dummy, opened up the space. There's the goal, past it, because he can't shoot with his right Bank!
Yeah.
Totally. That is when Pat Rice goes, bank! Bank! And now another question. No, bank! We never bank.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
Can I just say, before we wrap this up, I love Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the celebration?
Keith wanted to sign Jimmy Bullard. He goes, he's the sort of player we need.
He's the new Ray Parlour.
Basically, because Keith is like a curly-haired, cheeky Cockney bloke. He thinks that's what we need
We
in
need
the
another
side.
one of him.
He's like Ray Parlour. No, Ray Parlour's got legs like tree trunks and will kill anyone who gets in his
He was
way,
used to his
with a smile on his face.
He was used to his thighs. He grew into his thighs. Ray Parlour grew into his thighs.
But I did like that. I mean, I did like that. They all sat down, they did a finger wag, and made Phil Brown have to come out in a press conference after and say he approved of it.
Yeah.
And it also does keep Phil Brown in his job, which is what we've got to hope for. It does keep him in his job for the 19th of December, where we comes to Highbury, to Emirates, to Lilliput, and
there you've done it. There you've timed it nicely.
There you go. Well,
Slips in, and it was funny.
And then you focus too much on it, and I was just going to leave it to just.
No, it's fine. Now we can analyse it. We got the laugh. It's
I'm being
all right.
patronised by a bunch of comedians. That's all I need at the end of a podcast.
Shut up and play a record. It's the Lilliput Arena. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Still have his job on the 19th, and we'll make him lose his job there. Phil Brown, we're coming for you.
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. I think I've got a cough. I think we might have to wrap this up, lads. Thank you very much.
Thank you for putting a smile on my face after a rubbish weekend.
Do email us at upforgrabs@playbackmedia.co.uk. Is it? I can't find the bit of paper. Anyway, you heard it. It was. I mentioned it earlier. Rewind, you lazy swine. Good night.